England have just released their team to play Italy this week in the Six Nations. Now, it is a bit of a must-win game for England this week, but they are going to be going up against a very tough competitor in Italy. I know this is a game that Italy really has earmarked to try win. They're going to play their strongest squad available, and it's going to be in Rome as well, so it's going to be a very tough game for England to win. Now, England have made a few changes, especially in the forward pack. I do like the forward pack they have picked. Remember, we are reacting to this at the same time. I mean, I've only read over it once, but I do see a few changes here, but I'll go over them and kind of give my opinion on them. But if you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I will be doing a bit of a preview for the game based on both teams, kind of putting a combined team together between the two, my predictions, the kind of style of rugby we could expect from both, and maybe a bit of stats to kind of back up some of my decisions as well. But going into the team, in the forward pack, they've gone for Ellis Genge at number 1, Jamie George at number 2, Joe Hayes at number 3, Maury Itoje at captain at number 4, Alex Coles at number 5, Guy Pepper at number 6, Tom Curry at number 7, and Ben Earl at number 8. That is a very strong forward pack. I mean, if you just think they've been kind of chopping and changing things over the last few weeks, I really think this is the right balance of a forward pack for them to choose. Now, obviously, that loose trio of Guy Pepper, Sam Underhill, and Ben Earl didn't really play their best against Scotland, but they didn't, in my opinion, really have to change all of them. I would have liked to see Sam Underhill start to kind of keep that same loose trio that started the tournament together here, but I mean, Tom Curry is a phenomenal player. He's not going to have a bad game. He's always going to have a good game. And I do like the balance of the loose trio, but they're going to have a very big performance because there's a lot of guys right now that could be in those jerseys. I mean, if you think Fissalau, Chandler Cunningham South, Henry Pollock, those guys really want starting jerseys, and they are going to try to take it away from them if they don't pitch up. But I did think it was a bit harsh to kind of drop the starting loose trio that played against Scotland. I mean, against the likes of Ireland, it was a completely changed loose trio, so you can't really say it was the same loose trio that didn't work out. So I'm glad to see this same type of crop of loose trio kind of get the same chance, get another chance, and I think they are going to play very well. I mean, Guy Pepper's a phenomenal player. Tom Curry is a world-class player, one of the best players in the world at his best. And Ben Earl is probably the best forward in this team right now. Now, looking at the locks, Alex Coles gets a start, which I am very happy to see. I mean, he is one of those guys, he's never going to have a bad game. He's almost like a Tommy Freeman. If you think he's having a below-average game, he's still playing a lot better than some of the guys around him. And for him, a bad game looks a lot better than a bad game for other people. So I am very happy to see Alex Coles there. I honestly thought maybe Maury Itoje was going to go to the bench, but no, he's not. And he's still the captain, which is very interesting. I had a bit of a rant about saying that I think Maury Itoje plays better when he's not captain. Nothing against him as a player. I do think some players just perform a bit better when they aren't captain, when they can just focus on their role. Maury Itoje's core role is to be a nuisance, to be an absolute pest at every breakdown, every line out, every set piece, every maul, every ruck. I think that's what he normally does. And I feel like now that he's been captain, he's kind of been not really playing on the edge of breaking the rules, if that's how you can say it. I think normally he's one of those guys, he does play on the edge, which is why a lot of guys don't like him that play against him, but most of the guys that support England love him. So hopefully he can play like the old way he normally plays, what's a bit of a pest, like getting stuck in. But I don't know if he's able to do that as captain. So that's going to be very interesting to see how he does there. Now, looking at the front row, I really like that they're starting Jamie George. I've said it before, I think Jamie George is a much better starter in this team than he is a bench player. I know they maybe wanted to bring Maury Itoje off, then have a guy like Jamie George coming on as captain. But I think you shouldn't be really worrying about the captaincy in the second half. You should be worrying about how the team starts first instead of the captaincy in the second half. That can always take care of itself. I mean, throughout the game, there'll always be a player that stands out, and there will always be a player in a leadership position that doesn't go off the field who can become captain later on. So I do think Jamie George is the right guy to start. He's the perfect guy to play 55 to 65 minutes on the field. Then you can bring a guy like Luke Cowan-Dickie on, who's much better off the bench, who's a bit more explosive, who can make a much bigger impact in those last 15 minutes when the opposition is a bit tired. Now moving on to the back line. Number 9, Ben Spencer, which I'm very happy to see. Number 10, Finn Smith, who comes in for George Ford. Number 11, Caden Murley comes in. Number 12, Seb Atkinson comes in. Number 13, Tommy Freeman moves to number 13 from the wing. Number 14, Tom Roebuck comes back into the team. And number 15, Elliot Daly comes back. I do like the look of this backline, but I'm going to be honest, I don't think this backline is going to look smooth this week. I think people are going to be expecting this backline to play as if they've been playing together for years, and that's just not the case. So it might be a bit bumpy early on. Maybe they do get into their stride early, but it's all going to be up to the kind of quality ball that the backline gets from the forward pack. Now, I do think Ben Spencer is the perfect guy to start. He is a bit of the best of a both world scrum half. I mean, he's good at playing at the end of the game when the game's really quick and open, but he's also really good at nailing down those box kicks, slowing the game down, playing that really winning style of rugby that he normally does at Bart. So I think he's the perfect guy to play this week. And it's going to be interesting seeing the likes of a Ben Spencer next to a Finn Smith. Now, I do think Finn Smith is a phenomenal player. I do. I was expecting to see George Ford, and I was very interested to see that they just now dropped George Ford. I wonder if this is now going to be a permanent thing, or if it's just for this game to give Finn Smith a chance. Now, I was expecting maybe to see a Marcus Smith come in somewhere if George Ford got injured, but Finn Smith is more of a starter than he is a bench player, so it's going to be interesting to see how he does. I think if Finn Smith does have a big game this week, then he probably will get the starting jersey going forward. I mean, right now, the number 10 jersey for England is almost as scrutinized as the number 10 jersey for Ireland a few weeks ago. It's getting a bit out of hand now, so some guys need to start putting in a big performance, start laying down some consistent performances, a bit of continuity, and showing that they deserve the number 10 jersey. But I think if Finn Smith, if the experiment doesn't work now, I think they will go back to George Ford just for the next World Cup. I mean, it's only a year away. You kind of have to get your number 10 and your 9-10 combinations, and most of your combinations nailed down now a year away from the World Cup. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Caden Murley is a phenomenal player. He's a very solid player, and I think he's going to take the opportunity with both hands. I don't think he's on the level of a Manuel Faye Waboso, but I do think he's the kind of guy that will have a solid game. He's physical, he's very competitive all around the park in all areas, and I think he's going to have a very big performance. Now, Seb Atkinson and Tommy Freeman is a very interesting centre combination. I think they did send Max Ojomo home. I saw in one of the comments on my videos, but I was expecting to see a guy like Max Ojomo, but I think this is a huge test for Seb Atkinson. Can he perform at this level? Can he show he takes what it deserves? And if he does, he might be there for a while now. Because I mean, Ollie Lawrence and some of the other guys are struggling with injuries, and England right now don't know who their number 1 10 is. They don't know who their number 1 centre combination is, and I'm pretty sure they don't know who their number 1 wing pairing is either. So a lot of questions need to be answered for England, and can they answer them this week? I don't think so, but I think they can start to maybe answer a few questions. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens if England do have a good game this week. Number 15, Elliot Daly, a guy that I would never be upset to see. I mean, I'm not an England fan, I'm a neutral, but seeing a guy like Elliot Daly in the team, I would never be upset with that. He is one of the best players on his day. If he plays good rugby, he's one of the best players in the world. He can kick the ball over from his own half. He's a threat. He's a running threat. He's good under the high ball. And I think he offers a bit more than Freddie Stewart does right now. I was expecting to see someone else there, maybe a Marcus Smith at 15, but bringing an out and out 15 into the team probably helps, and he does add a different variation, a different type of style of rugby that might actually help unlock something different in this England team, which I really like. He's a very versatile player. He can play as a playmaker, he can play as a wing style player, he's good at breaking the line, he's very good with ball in hand, and he can kick the ball over from anywhere. So he's a kind of a Swiss Army knife, which is very important to have in a team sometimes. So I'm very excited to see Elliot Daly, but I do think the one question that will have to be answered is, can this backline that's just chucked together, almost like a barbarian style backline, can they be successful this week against a team that knows how to play together? It's going to be very difficult, but it's going to be very interesting, and honestly, it's going to be fun watching as a neutral. Looking at the bench, Luke Cowan-Dickie, number 16, which I'm happy to see. Bevan Rodd, 17. Trevor Davison, 18. So they're keeping the bench front row the same, which I think is good to keep that continuity. I think the front rows haven't been the worst part for England. They've been just okay, but they haven't really been a problem. So I think giving them more game time will be fine. I do think Luke Cowan-Dickie's throws have been a problem, and maybe some of his tackle technique, but he is a good player, so he kind of maybe feels a lot of trust now from the coaches, and this probably is the last straw if he does have a bad game, because there are guys like Theo Dan, who's a very good player, waiting in the wings to get his opportunity. Ollie Chesser moves to the bench, which is interesting. He hasn't had the two best games over the last 2 games. He had a very good game against Wales. He's kind of fallen off a bit, but he is a very good player, and I think he will try get back into the starting jersey. And I think guys that are playing for a starting jersey that have now theoretically been dropped will play better. They will play with a bit more purpose, with a bit more of an emphasis on trying to make an impact to impress the coaches. Sam Underhill, number 20, 21, Henry Pollock. They've gone for a 6-2 split. I like this bench loose forwards. I like the bench loose forwards. I mean, you have a guy that's a really good runner with the ball. He's very versatile. He can almost run like a backline player in Henry Pollock. Then you have a guy who's a tackle machine, who's a workhorse, that if there is an injury in the loose forwards early on, they probably will bring a guy like Sam Underhill on first before they bring a guy like Henry Pollock. But I do like those guys coming off the bench together. I've said it before, I do like Sam Underhill as a starter, but as long as he's in the team, I'm happy, because he is one of those guys that's so underrated in world rugby, and he has such a high output. I think he is a no-brainer to have in the team. Number 22, Jack van Poortvliet. I think he's better off the bench than he is starting. He's a running threat. He's got a very good boot, and I think right now it will probably be detrimental to his overall confidence and maybe the way he's playing and his actual performances if he does start. I think Ben Spencer, especially if you're thinking of doing the right thing within a squad, it's just right that Ben Spencer starts in this game. I mean, it's right that he's getting an opportunity. He hasn't been given that much game time recently, especially in the England jersey, but he's been phenomenal for Bath, and I think he's a very good starter who might just have something to say about that number 9 jersey. I know Alex Mitchell's been phenomenal, but Ben Spencer on a good day is absolutely incredible. So that's going to be interesting. And Jack Van Poortvliet to back him up, I think that's a good call. He can do some really good game-changing moments off the bench, which he's done before. He has proven that he can, so hopefully he can do that again and get a bit more confidence. Number 23, Marcus Smith. If things don't work out with Vin Smith, they will bring on Marcus Smith. And probably in this game, I do see Marcus Smith maybe coming on at 10 before he comes on at 15. I think if you have a guy like Elliot Daly, I don't think you'll really take him off. You might bring a guy like Marcus Smith on and move Elliot Daly to the wing or to one of the wings, 11 or 14, because he can play all over the park. He can even play 13 if need be, but I think changing too many things when a guy comes on is maybe not the best. But I think Elliot Daly being in the team, I don't think he'll come off, but I think it'll either be Finn Smith or one of the wings that come off with a few changes in the backline. But Marcus Smith at number 23, so I wouldn't say he's been excellent. He's just been good or above average, but I mean, most of the guys in the team have been quite poor recently, so Marcus Smith definitely keeps a spot for the kind of impact he's been bringing, the energy he's been bringing off the bench, so it makes sense to keep him there. So he is a young guy as well, and he's been good at club level, one of the only guys that's been good at Harlequins, especially recently with some of their struggles, but he deserves to be in the team, and I think he might come on at 10, and I'd like to see him come on in his natural position, because a few years ago, everybody was saying Marcus Smith is the next big thing, the next Johnny Wilkinson. I did see some of those reports, actually, of people saying that, but he's a very good player. He's a phenomenal player. Hopefully they can give him a bit more game time that he can express himself. And I mean, at the end of the game, if the game is opening up in England's favour, he's the perfect guy to have on the field. But that's just my immediate reaction to the squad being released for England, guys. I think it's a good team. I think the backline's going to struggle to get into their kind of style early on and maybe get comfortable with each other early on, but they're going to have to. But I think the forwards need to have a big performance. Just looking at the team sheet, the forwards look like a world-class forward pack, but can they finally play like it? But I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you do, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.